Hello everyone, welcome to Edge Time. Today we have a cool knife from CRKT that is on loan to me from a friend. This is the CRKT BT Fighter by Brian Tag, or Ty. I'm not sure how you're supposed to pronounce his last name, but yeah, this is the BT Fighter. So, this is the knife that really first introduced me to the world of button locks. It is the first button lock I ever handled. And back when I first handled this knife, probably 4 or 5 years ago, I thought it was very smooth. I thought the action was excellent. It was the smoothest knife I've ever felt. And now, however many years later it is, after handling all sorts of very smooth knives with just super, super nice actions, I can still say that this is one of the smoothest knives I've ever handled. It's effortless and it has a little bounce to it, to the opening and the closing, that it's very satisfying to use. And it has both thumb studs and a flipper. So yeah, this knife is pretty special to me, and I don't think you can get this knife anymore. I believe it's been discontinued by CRKT, but if you can find one at, say, a yard sale or new old stock at a store somewhere, I would say to definitely get it, because this is I feel like this one is sort of going to become a classic. It's going to be one of those sort of like the Kershaw Skyline that people are going to look back 20 years later and say, why didn't we get these when we had the chance? So I would say if you do have the chance, go ahead and get one. The only thing I don't like about this knife, just real fast, is that I tried to disassemble it, and just these screws are not very strong. I mean, this one stripped out slightly. I think it was already stripped out, so it may have been already worked on a little bit. I don't think I stripped that out because I use WeHa bits and they just don't really do that. So I think it was already a little stripped out. But like this is not a captive screw post design in here, so they will spin freely, which can be irritating. So that's pretty much my only gripe about this knife. And as you can tell, the clip most likely was supposed to have a bearing in here or just a little ball, but it has either fallen out or was removed. I think it probably fell out. I'm not certain, but yeah, so just that can happen. Let's go ahead and get some measurements here. Oh, drop my screwdriver off the table. Alright, get some measurement here. So the overall length for this thing, the cutting edge length is 3.5 inches. The overall blade stock length is 3 3/4 inches, and the overall length of the entire knife is about 9 inches. So not a small knife. This is a good sized knife. It fills the hand, and it's definitely a knife you can get things done with. Let's see. The length closed is about 5.5 inches. So yeah, that is a cool knife. It has as you can tell, an extreme abrupt tanto here. I mean, it's just a very dramatic blade shape, and it even has a tapered spine as well, and then this thumb ramp, and just all put together, even with the flipper and the double choil here, just makes for a very aggressive, sort of outlandish looking knife, which I love. That's just one of the things I really fell in love with this knife when I first saw it. It just has a very almost I would go so far as to say it resembles a dinosaur in some ways, or a dinosaur skeleton. Uh, some of you may be struggling to visualize that, but to me, it makes sense. And it's just everything about the knife sort of ties that aesthetic together. The huge, oversized lanyard hole here. I think that usually I'm not a huge fan of big lanyard holes on knives, but this one sort of ties the whole knife together. And yeah, it's a crazy looking knife. And this one is also available in a drop point. Yeah, I think the other one is a drop point. I know that the other one is just a plain blade with belly, not a tanto. But I kind of think that this one should be a tanto. If I had a choice to get one, I would probably get the tanto. Even though I'm not a huge fan of tanto blades, I feel like this one needs to be a tanto. But if you have the drop point, I'm sure it's totally fine. It's just to complete the aesthetic, this one needs to be a tanto. Let's see. There's not a whole lot more to say about this thing. These are plastic or fiberglass reinforced nylon or whatever scales, which is not a problem. CRKT has made very good use of them here. They have like step milling here and a fake carbon fiber texture. So yeah, they are plastic scales, but they're done very well and they work just fine on this knife. And we have this crazy ridged backspacer here, which is not uncomfortable. Your hand isn't really hitting that. One other thing I'll say about the pocket clip is that as it is, it's digging into my hand a little bit, and I imagine if it had that ball in it, it would dig in a little bit more. So just be aware of that can happen. Like I've already said, the action is beautiful, glassy smooth. It is running on ball bearings. Probably, most likely HCR13 MOV steel or a similar Chinese steel, which is perfectly good steel. As you can tell, it's not completely corrosion resistant because it has rusted somewhat. But knowing what my friend puts his knives through, this one is faring quite well. And no offense to my friend, I just know he uses his knives quite hard. So yeah, this one is putting up quite well. Yeah, very. I mean, there's obviously some rust, but I believe, if I understand my friend's use of this knife correctly, this is more of a beater knife for him. So considering that, it's in remarkably good shape. It's held up well. So yeah, I would say if you're wanting to get one of these knives, I would say certainly go ahead. And if you're looking for a good button lock flipper, then if you can still find one of these, I would say to go for it. And it's just, like I've already said, I feel like this will become a classic design with time. So, with that, that's about all I have to say regarding the CRKT BT Fighter. I apologize if I've called it a Mai Tai or Mai Tai at any point in time. I'm also used to seeing that one, and so I sometimes get them mixed up. Both designed by the same person, obviously. But, yeah. So, anyway, hope you all enjoyed this video. I will not be doing a disassembly for this one due to the fact that this screw here was one to strip out on me. So I do not want to, it's not fully stripped out yet, so I don't want to fully strip it out. And yeah, so I won't be trying to do a disassembly on this one. And it doesn't really need it either. It's clean on the inside, fairly clean. So yeah, but anyway, like I was saying, hope you all enjoyed this video, and I will see you all in the next one. Have a good day.